staple names within the scene that have had some incredible success, and even, of course, TI winner in Mind Control as well, standing in for SMG. So let's see what Evil Geniuses have in store for us. A lot of tips to start, and if we weren't here, well, if you weren't here for game one prior, we had 5 kills before the horn even sounded, and we might get another battle as well, as because
run away
leads the charge. Kiyotaka able to get away accordingly.
Doesn't need to level up his Fisher, which is quite nice. You really don't want to ruin your laning stage off the back of that. So just his ability to be able to get away. They should know that there is the potential for there being a ward up here on the top side as well. So they're going to play accordingly around that.
Is Antara's going to do this sentry trick? He looks like he is.
Yeah. We'll see if he does it before we explain it. Makes a lot more sense if people could see at the same time, you know?
Yes. He's smiling. I thought I saw a chuckle. I don't know.
He's a happy boy in general.
Some nerd stuff right here. This is actually some nerd shit. I don't know.
Who was the one that did it first? Was it DM? Is it his influence?
I've seen Antares do it before, but he was not the first person that I saw do this sentry. I do not remember. But of course, reasoning behind it is when the creep wave goes under the tower, you're going to aggro to the sentry, which will store the creep wave from Radiant connecting to Dyes. That'll mean that 9 Pandas will get their own creep wave under the T1 tower, which will naturally then shove back out. And Tara's even potentially going to body block this. So this is further helping out the equilibrium.
You've still got... You obviously have to go to the lane here on Pakaz. He's trying his best to body block the other wave to make sure that they still do meet outside of the tower range. But, I mean, I understand why you do it. I understand that they want the lane to push out, but giving that potential for an earlier level 2 onto this CK Grimstroke is not exactly the most ideal situation either. So it's basically like, pick your poison, you know? Do you want that higher kill threat, or do you just want to enable yourself to pick up a little bit of that extra farm early?
But we do see, like, straight away Antares blocks the small camp, and hard camp's already been blocked from Radiant. So it will be very difficult for them to be able to, you know, reposition this wave accordingly in a very kill-heavy lane that EG have. So interesting little mechanics coming out from Pandas. Again, some nerd stuff, which we love to see over time with the development of that. Meanwhile, Solo might just get a kill onto Matthew with the banishment the last second, though, is going to hold him short.
Mm-hmm. You say that people love nerd stuff until Tundra win another TI off the back of it. Then people are saying, it's boring.
No, but it's Thompson. Come on.
True. That's the big difference maker.
My guy actually, I was half watching the game earlier, but I don't know. There was some crazy Pugner, yes. So it's some wild Pugner performance. So this is an interesting timeline we're in for a potential 3-time winner.
Mm-hmm. Not just him as well, AUI too.
Yes, that is very true. And the potential back-to-back too.
Maybe the lane is a little bit too far. I was about to say, watching this bottom side, just Panda and Pakaz with level 2. You have to be very careful on Miero, especially with Antares moving back, which they scouted out because of Matthew's ward to be able to start building up some of these stacks.
It's a lot of emphasis, though, right, on trying to minimize what C-Smile can do in this lane. I mean, he did just get his bottle delivered, so had 3 sips to work with, but no water in. And we know this Earthshaker can really bring down the resources at a pretty fast rate with the Enchant Totem spam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, similar to what I was talking about with Primal Beast being the one that needs to be making a lot of these plays. It's going to be C-Smile for EG's side, right? And if you can look to hinder that as much as possible, I mean, a First Blood would go a long way towards it. He's forced to kick him back, so that means that even harder to be able to secure some of the last hits now in the lane.
Top lane gonna have a bit of a fight breaking out here between Whisper and Matthew. Starting to stack up the poison, the Quill. Solo will TP out. They'll try and turn to Ramses instead. Solo does go back to the tier 1 tower, so he's still going to be nearby if required.
It's going to be both Lotuses picked up as well by Evil Geniuses, so they've potentially got the stuff to be able to enable a bit of a dive going on here as well. Looks like Ramses wants to dissuade that as much as possible, just getting as much harass on whenever he can with those refraction stacks being up. You don't really care about the Quill Spray.
Do we feel like once Whisper gets... Oh, actually, TP in top from Antares. Whisper now, we've seen him fall pretty low. They might have to go for Matthew instead. So an easy first blood's going to be rewarded for the boys on 9 Pandas, and Solo will claim it. Now let's see what they can do down bottom though, because again, like we're seeing, EG, very heavy kill threat lane. Miero's got a decent position with the Queen Wave. In fact, Panda's even starting to leave the lane as well.
They're not going to be able to scout this one out, really feeling like maybe they have the potential to go for a kill here onto Kiyotaka as he's looking to grab this water rune. Looks like they're going to be able to bully him away enough. Is they... Oh, stun just off the mark. 2 stuns off the mark.
Get the other side water rune though, so nonetheless it will keep Kiyotaka in a bit of an awkward position with his resources.
Look at how much pressure they're putting in onto Whisper, really not giving him an easy time, but that's the thing with the Bristleback, right? All you really need is this...
Is he dead?
Yeah, he is dead, actually. I'm surprised. I thought with the wand plus the healing Lotus, he might have been able to back off in time, but just that early point in the natural order, being able to reduce that base armor was the difference maker. I was about to say, like, with him being super tanky, Matthew, he's enabled to be able to move back and bring up a lot of these stacks. Yep.
Yeah, what's that stack count looking like? I should be able to start making the first couple. Dude, Meld is such a crazy level 1 spell. It's just so dumb. 5 armor. For 12 seconds?
Yeah.
80, like, it's just, what is this?
100% uptime.
It's like, you're such a strong side laner. Even, I mean, mid lane as well with an early level Meld. We will see, though, Solo's been very frustrating for them, and yeah, they're going to lock him into place. Even Whisper, sorry, even See Smile wants to come in to try and get a little bit of experience.
Unfortunately for them, it's going to be Matthew picking up the last hit there. So ends up getting a bit of gold. Not the worst, but you know that he's going to get a ton of farm from these stacks that are eventually going to be claimed by Whisper on his Bristle. And you just feel so much more confident leaving the Bristleback once he gets into the Vanguard. So it would have been prime kill to be able to give over to Whisper there.
Yep. Overall, though, how's that blink timing looking for Kiyotaka? He's going to have the treads completed now, so start to make his way towards the blink, in which we've seen as soon as his Earthshaker has it online, you look to try and use that Echo Slam and further your way to an early Scepter. So once again, either side putting a lot of attention and trying to secure these runes. It will go to See Smile, though, for the first power rune, so we'll see how he's going to look to try and utilize the Invis.
I've been really impressed by Miero so far. Like, the amount of farm that he's been able to claim, he's cutting the wave. And
what's going on here, dude?
Might be yoinking this away. He might be echoing them all.
Really nice sentry placement. Yeah, there's a ultimate advantage on Kiyotaka compared to See Smile. They're probably going to have to bring Whisper on over. This is looking pretty messy. It's a big Echo Slam, but it's not enough. Whisper turns, stands strong, and the Quills, they'll ramp up the damage. Solo's going to go down as well. That was a peculiar engagement from 9 Pandas, just invading into the triangle. I mean, you were wanting to use the Echo to maybe take the stack away, but there was always going to be a numbers advantage on EG.
Not just that, it was underneath a ward the entire time as well, you know, not just checking if there was anything up on the high ground. You know how much EG are going to be valuing this sort of area, so yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense to not consider it.
Oh, poor Miero, they cliffed the wave. Oh, he's really stuck now. They're gonna double TP. This is so much time wasted. Double wave from Miero. Magnetize is there. Maybe he gets stunned. Trample's nowhere near back up to be able to maybe kill the creep wave before he dies. So, dude, this poor off-lane primal. I mean, he's got 39 losses, I suppose. A little bit more than the Bristleback.
I still think he's done a pretty good job, right? It's just that EG are playing quite well. Just looking to punish a lot of these excessive movements. He's forced to farm that far away because it is not a favorable 1v1 matchup against the Chaos Knight.
Oh, they got him range. Okay, never mind.
Just more stacks. That's the thing. Worst case scenario, you can always just look to move back, and they're really wanting to protect this vision. They won't be able to, but they'll get a kill instead.
Cordia. Oh, nice. I guess the one nice thing, right, is that you do still have this Dire Observe ward around to the south of that outpost, so still haven't been able to deward that just yet from EG. And Echo Slam's back up in 25, so you can still look to try and invade once again from Pandas.
But as soon as Miero shows up on this bottom side, you know that he's not going to be part of it because he just TP'd back down towards that lane to be able to pick up his farms. So maybe that leads them to believe that they've got the potential to take it completely unopposed. I say completely. Ramses is actually the one that's looking to potentially get it, but
Dude,
Matthew
Whisper's
is
so low. Whisper is so goddamn low, but Panda, does he get him out? Last arcane bolt, that's going to be enough to get the kill. That's a big one. Killing spree from Antares and Q is going to do it. Dude, he needs his gold.
Is he going to stack it?
I mean, that might not need to. That's, oh, maybe it just lines it up for a big ultimate onto the Chaos Knights. He smile. He'll be free inside the team fight. This magnetize could prove to be an issue, but he just doesn't have the health to stand strong for long enough duration. As this time, 9 Pandas, a much better invasion out of them. They'll bring Ramses over as well to help secure the stack, and Kiyotaka now has 1,700 gold in the bank.
I mean, if there was ever any understanding of Vision wins games, like that is it, right? The first fight happens underneath EG Vision, EG win the fight. Second fight, 9 Pandas have the advantage and they're able to scout out that CK coming through. They wipe him out as well as take all of those stacks.
And importantly, right, Miro gets some time by himself down bottom too, so it completely shoves the wave in. Taz, in fact, below half health, and he's probably going to get another wave for free before Bakaz comes back. So this is at least nice that he's getting a little bit more farm by himself.
Ramsey's getting a ton of farm as well. Obviously, some of it off the back of those kills as well as part of the stacks. But yeah, I mean, the big thing is I was expecting Kiyotaka to be the one that's playing a little bit more greedy to start with. As looks like we'll get a death onto Solo. Potentially, he's a speedy boy. Nah, he'll still die. But
they're going for Bakaz, bottom lane with the Mystic Flare, and Tyra's in early level 6, and all right, I mean, Bakaz's farm has fallen on a cliff, dude. That death around the triangle, now to bottom, he had to run down because he TP'd top, and this CK lower net worth than the Primal Beast.
We've seen it a few times, right? People picking these lanes specifically because they are lane dominators, whether it be a Lifestealer, whether it be a Chaos Knight, against these advantageous lineups. And I mean, if it doesn't work out for you, you can find yourselves falling a long way behind. Already a 4K net worth advantage for 9 Pandas.
This is not the start you're hoping for in a game where, with this win, you go over to phase 2, and with a draw, you're playing in a best of 3 versus SMG.
Scary. I'm pretty sure we're going to see, I think Talon and Quest are going to be playing against each other, and Keystars as well. 3-way tiebreaker in Grid D.
God damn. All right. I mean, I was wanting tiebreaker on tiebreakers, so hopefully we get many more to come as well. Potentially a couple extra rounds if there is that 3-way tiebreaker.
That'd be high.
Seen last year, Talon were playing in the tiebreakers, knocked out by Entity in the best of 3, 2-0. So I have to do it back-to-back years.
You'd have to say they've had a much stronger year this time around, though.
They have
for this to be the way that it ends.
Yeah, grown a lot, but so there's all look good at a lot of tournaments, not enough to get over the finish line multiple times, and now this one, you know, big tournament you're always looking for. They fall a little bit short in the group stages. Not short just yet though, and potentially for EG as well, not there just yet. Still a lot to be working with, but what can we expect out of these boys? Because we're 12 minutes in, 4,000 deficit. Like, this Templar Assassin very shortly can really ramp up the tempo. And yeah, we're going to see that. This Blade Mail, along with the Earthshaker Blink, like, they are ready to go on 9 Pandas.
I'm a little surprised that he didn't look to commit with the rest of the team right now. I guess they were a little bit far off, but in my opinion, Miero's got to try and make some sort of play happen while he's got this bit of a spike with the Blade Mail, and more importantly, prior to Matthew having level 6.
Can Matthew get in range? Banishment should be there. Actually going to use it aggressively so Antares can switch up the Mystic Flare. Echo slams out, but it's not the greatest from Kiyotaka. It'll still net them 2 kills, but Kiyotaka's going to go down nonetheless. So Whisper and C Smile, I'm going to find some rebuttal. It's not guaranteed just yet, especially with Miero looking to try and charge in. Even, dude, Ramses comes out of nowhere as well, connects to the fight from the mid lane, and Bakaz is too late. In fact, they might chase down Bakaz. He's going to try and TP out, but Miero has no way to cancel that.
All right. It's a nice little... is it a nice trade? 2 supports for Kiyotaka? I'm not so sure, but he'd already picked up his Blink Dagger, I suppose. So a lot of that gold was reliable gold, didn't end up losing too much from it. And the important thing is that Ramsey's able to be part of it once again, getting an assist off the back of that. Actually, he got the kill onto C-Smile as well, so continuing to extend this lead a little bit. I'm still a little bit worried about what Ramsey's is going to do when it does start to get to the later stages, right? It's going to be fixed up a little bit if he eventually does get to level 25, but you've still got plenty of ways to be able to break those refraction stacks, whether it be Cool Spray, Magnetize, Earn, the Grimstroke, Inkswell. It's a lot of little instances of damage. So prior to him picking up the BKB in particular, he's going to be suffering.
But before you get there, though, you take a look at EG's members, and they are very low armor, which is a huge concern. And when Whisper is having a decent game, so we're going to have to see a pretty early Lotus Orb, it looks like, for him to help out with his armor issues. Do have a kill as well, potentially onto the Shadow Demon, who also, only 5 armor, Grimstroke only 5 armor, so TA could just eat many members alive here at the early stage of this game before there's too much of a concern with them dealing with the refraction.
And you got to remember as well that it's not like, even if you had 50 armor, you're playing with an Elder Titan as well, so he could just remove that one on top of that as well. I mean, we're going to need to see some people starting to build into some actual armor items. Right now, I think only Primal Beast actually has it.
What do you make of Solo actually maxing out Natural Order? I know Kings has gone back and forth over the years on how you look to skill the Elder Titan. Do we like the max out Natural Order?
Maybe they just feel like they need to go for a little bit more pick-offy style, like he's not the one doing a lot of the right clicks in these team fights, and maybe they feel like EG are going to play a little bit more of this passive game for now, so that you don't need the Echo Stomp. But if you're able to just enable Ramses to keep running at people, if you're enabling the Enchant Totem to hit like an absolute truck, then, it feels like a pretty valid way to look to build this ET.
Okay.
And they're just going to try and keep running at them. Smoke's coming up. You've got the drums freshly finished on Solo as well.
Just DD as well for Kiyotaka. No one's here. They're currently top side of the map. They're going to have to pivot their attention over towards a different side. What's a call going to be from them? And instantly some TPs are coming through. Looks like Matthew's going to try and respond. We do have an Echo Slam out though. Kiyotaka with a quick solo kill onto Panda. Meanwhile, back over towards the secret shot, but the fight will continue to break up. C-Smile with a roll in. It's going to eat the full duration Mystic Flare, and with the max out Ancient Seal, Antares pretty much just solo kills your mid laner.
That's the thing, right? He ends up taking a lot of damage, but he ends up doing so much for Antares there. Look at how much damage he ended up taking on the Earth Spirit there. It was 1,700, just 1,000 alone from the Mystic Flare. Just great positioning, gets rid of that ward. I'm sure he would have loved to place up some vision of his own, but it's even more valuable if you're able to take out this C-Smile Earth Spirit and keep him down on the net worth. Like, he's pretty close to Antares.
Because he's going to finally look to show up to the fight. They want to try and target down Kiyotaka at the moment. Solo might be a bit of a nuisance here with the AoE control. The Whisper with a fresh completed Scepter as well. Now they're going to go towards the ET. Miera will charge on forward still. It's looking a little bit messy nonetheless. Ramses hasn't been able to find an angle to right-click. And now because he could potentially go back in. It's going to be C-Smile that will lead the initiation as Pandas continuing to disengage further towards that tier 2 tower. And Tara's in some danger. They'll split their attention over to the right side, but lacking the stuns, or at least, being able to land some of the smells along with the roll, they will still get out nonetheless on 9 Pandas. They do lose 2 heroes though, so a nice little fight from EG.
You got to wonder though, like, how confident do they feel with being able to fight with this Phantasm on cooldown? Ramses looks like he still wants to continue pushing on forward. They've got a bit of a vision advantage off the back of those traps, and it seems like they really just want to take away the EG side of the map for now.
It was a pretty impressive fight though, nonetheless, down this much gold at such an early stage for EG.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see, I mean, a lot of it is on the back of Whisper. He's going to have to do some heavy lifting here to be able to claw EG back into this game. And where does the response then come for 9 Pandas? Like, currently, do they have ways to address this Bristleback in his current state?
I think they do, like, just off the back of the burst damage that they've got. And they've also got an okay amount of stuns, right? Like, we didn't see it that time because they were the ones that got gone on.
Yum.
Solo ends up actually Just getting torn a new one. But Pakaz, he's always going to have that potential, right?
Top lane, it's Kiyotaka. That's a big combo out, but the Mystic Flare's not enough. All right, just tank 2 spells. Why not, dude? All right, like, are you serious? A big Echo and a Mystic Flare. He doesn't even drop to like under a quarter.
I think that was only with 2 points in Bristleback as well at the time. So this is another factor that you also need to consider, right? What are these neutral items going to be that Evil Geniuses pick up? Right now, I believe they've only got one tier 2 item, but up against an Earthshaker and a TA, Gossamer Cape is the best tier 2 item you could possibly hope for. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 4 of them coming out. Probably not the CK. He still needs something that's going to enable him to dish out a little bit more of that damage, and he has gone for the Specialist's Array, but it's just such a good item against this 9 Pandas lineup.
The value that it has this game, especially, I mean, movement speed on a Bristleback, right? I mean, he's 533 movement speed, maxed out Warpath. Like, he is zooming across the map. But they're going to have to continue to repeat this, though, because Pandas, they are gearing up for a potential Roche, and they should be able to take it very fast. I do think they know, though, this ward at least scouted out Ramses in the area, so EG is starting to group up.
How quickly are they going to be able to take it? Hart not quite finished up by Miero, so he's not going to be able to stand on that front line, As a TP coming up now.
Kiyotaka to jump outside. Miero, oh, look at the backline, where'd they go? Grimshaw can shut it, even not here for the fight. It's all the cores left remaining, but the cores are doing some damage. Whisper will turn to Ramses. Now Miero as well is in some danger. He wants out. Miero actually cancels his TP because Ramses brought back. This is a heavy investment, and Pandas, they need to get something out of it, but Kaz should be able to deal with Antares down to the southern side. Whisper is just a beast inside the middle, though. This Bristleback turns to Ramses by refraction, and his health pool's gone next as well, and they're not done. Kiyotaka is next on the list as well. He's got the enchant on him up in a couple seconds. Solo as well, trying to retreat away. The ET won't make it. You're going to hope the Earthshaker can. I mean, more fights are breaking out simultaneously on different fronts. Because rips apart the Dino. Now Kiyotaka as well, still going up against Whisper. The Aqua Slam almost enough. Whisper might go down on the enchant on him.
They both do it.
Gets him. He's dying breath. The Quill will still secure the kill. What was that engagement?
It was a crazy one, and the most important thing is that it went on long enough that Roche has gone down towards the bottom side. So, close. So yeah, not only do you get a dieback out of Ramses on his TA, look at what he's done to his net worth as well. We were talking about Pakaz falling a little bit behind, but certainly not the case anymore. It was like an 8k net worth lead in 9 Pandas' favor. It's shrunk all the way down to 2.
Dude, what was Whisper's damage? The Bristleback just, both lives of Ramses just disappeared.
I mean, that we talked about how Meld is OP, but not with Gossamer Cape. That's the thing that's enabling him to survive through a lot of this. That's what it enabled him to get that trade kill onto Kiyotaka as well. And it's being pinged out right now, the Roshan down on the bottom side. It is still, like, that one-shot threat is still there, of course, by Kiyotaka. He ended up one-shotting Matthew on his Shadow Demon with Solo standing next to him. It was like 900 damage, so it's still crazy what they're able to do, and he's still got plenty of room to scale.
And we did see nonetheless, though, even though the fight goes EG's way, like the capability of Pandas to be able to very easily deal with EG's backline, which are very important. Like these are 2 spellcasting supports with some save along with control out of Panda. So you're going to need to continue to kill them off, and you can do that with the 3 cores you have on 9 Pandas. But it's just a question of, can you kite the fight long enough to have Whisper in like a 1v5?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what's coming out to him. Okay, so starting the build towards the Aghanim Scepter on the Primal Beast. It really feels like Miero, all of these items that are going to be just so advantageous for him. I mean, if he can build into that, plus the Blink Dagger, plus the BKB, he is going to be the most important hero this game. We talk about the squishy-ish backlines. If he's able to jump on the Shadow Demon and disable him with a Pulverize, enormous, right? It just enables so much with what the rest of the team is able to do. He'll have the break as well for the Bristleback and enable TA to really walk in and do her stuff. So I'm really just looking at Miero for the next 10 or so minutes. Can he be part of successful fights as well as have some uninterrupted fun?
This is not the fastest Roche. Do they want to contest I mean, they got the read, it's going on, but they're not starting to TP down on 9 Pandas.
Yeah. More important, I feel, for Kiyotaka to be able to get into that BKB for himself. Really feels like he's being hindered, kited around a little bit. Of course, he does have the enchant totem to be able to fly around, but surely he's fine. Oh, maybe not with the haste.
He's got Hurricane Pike complete. He should be able to get some more distance away. Wait, are they going? Hang on, what the hell? And Tara's. Oh yeah, now he has to TP out. How many damage? Oh. Nice 4-staff. Well done, Ramsey.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't result in Ramsey's dying, but he still has the Blink Dagger for himself as well. And he's actually going into some break of his own. Maybe just feeling that they don't need to just rely completely on the one person, which is understandable, right? Like I mentioned, have to be careful here. You are going to have Miero, who's prioritizing taking out that backline. He is basically the only one that's going to be able to get there relatively quick, right? You always want Kiyotaka to be that secondary form of initiation. Talking about those Gossamer caves, we have one on the SD, so not going to be getting one shot, but no one else has been able to pick one up.
You see Panda, fortunately he couldn't get his own, but he's building Wraith Bands, double Wraith Band now for him. So he's just looking for survivability. I guess he got he got the Eye of the Vizier, right? So he doesn't need something like an Aether Lens. Feels like some other utility items aren't required from him this game. So yeah, just doesn't want to get one shot.
It's good value.
Yeah, yeah.
And in 30 seconds, it's going to double in value.
See,
like they want to take a fight before that, though.
It's an interesting smoke as well. And Tara's is solo smoked? There's no timing of the wisdom. I wonder what he's maybe trying to drop some vision. Has no wards, looking for a solo kill. I don't know what he's looking for.
Well, he's providing information is what it is, right? They know that they still have all Ramses.
Oh my god, 2 heroes under an observer ward. It's going to be a massacre. Solo instantly gets the read. There's a cliff ward. It's not going to matter though. They'll try and get the return kill onto C Smile, but the invulnerability of the roll gets him out of danger. They're starting to move down on Kiyotaka. He's probably going to be a little bit too late though. Don't do it. Ooh. Oh, wait, Kiyotaka? Oh, dude, it's a huge echo, but you're in the middle of 3 now, and you've got no other boys. We can TP out the BKB. We'll cover it, but is that worth it?
Maybe just considering that, like, as long as the Earth Spirit is dead, the initiation potential coming through from Evil Geniuses isn't quite there. So obviously it sucks that you don't have the TA up and farming while all this is happening, but as long as they're not able to continue pushing on forward and taking away too much of your map, it's not as big of a deal. So that's the sort of trade-off with that Echo. And they know that they want to still get a little bit of that farm for themselves. He's even going into a Silver Edge too. So they're realizing that Whisper is public enemy #1.
I guess,
like, if you can afford to just jump next to the Bristle though, got to be able to get away.
Well, the kiting could be a really big issue as this game goes on, right? We spoke about the Grimstroke really enables a lot of your control. So if you kill him to start, if you are able to survive the big burst initiation from like Chaos Knight, because then you can potentially disengage away from him afterwards. So it looks like they want like these long drawn out fights where you dance in and out.
Kiyotaka is barely avoiding any sort of detection right now. Yeah.
Kiyotaka's going to be rewarded with that. They should get Antares.
Doesn't have the BKB this time around. Is he going to go for a kill? Yes, he will.
They should be fine as well. They are cutting him off, though. Car's going to get revealed underneath the lane. Such an interesting game we have.
Just running at him. Oh, this is a big
BKB if he needs it. But Car's going to be able to jump over the top as well, but the physical damage is overwhelming. But Car's level 20 CK AC as well. So these towers are going to fall and they might see high ground.
It might indeed. I mean, you're not wanting to use a buyback at this point. You really need to start getting into that crit for yourself for the Earthshaker. And he's almost reached that level 20 mark as well with a plus 50% enchant totem damage that would be so vital at being able to just pick off those supports. I'm sure he's going to be checking, the itemization coming through. Who is the easiest to kill across the board? And for right now, it's got to be Panda.
Oh, what does Mr. Panda got? There's nothing changed. Yeah, I guess he's not really going to be able to farm anything too crazy in the meanwhile.
The armor's doubled, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, that's all it needs. Solo, though, has got dreams of a scepter, so
Radiant's middle tower.
let us see if we
Good.
can
Let
get
more
to
support scale. We got an arcane rune top as well. No one's going to spot it out. Actually, never mind. Solo does. I'd have to claim it prior to this fight, although
this.
great value if you give it over to Miero.
What a great spot to fight.
Upwards.
High ground ward with ages expiring. They will see Kiyotaka starting
gem.
to connect. They're going to lose the ward before they get set up, though, so maybe a little bit more awkward for 9 Pandas.
Yeah.
We go for C-Smile, though.
Radiant's
The backline,
middle tower
because
is under attack.
runs into Miero. A lot of damage early on. The break is there, and the turnaround's instant. 9 Pandas blow
Can't do
up the
that
card
solo.
before you're able to respond, and now Kiyotaka's hunting for more. Instant Lotus Orb gets him out of the ATOS. This is pretty deep from Pandas. Gotta pay some respect to Whisper, and they'll do just that.
They've got good mobility, though, with the Blink Dagger, with the Silver Edge, with the Hurricane Pike, with the Enchant Totem Aghanims.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And with no CK to have to worry about, you just feel so much safer now as these
Matthew?
supports. Maybe Antares
Showed
can
on
go
the
for an
trap.
aggressive play.
Yeah, he's gonna get blown up. Nicely done. Great use of the vision.
It really is a night and day difference with how these supports feel, right? Like you are not worried at all. You're not going to get 100 to 0'd by an Earth Spirit. You're going to be able to run away from Whisper most of the time, just because you do have these like avenues to be able to stop him from doing just that. I mean, the Echo Stomp is effective.
Brother. We are some fearless stuff right now.
I mean, I think he's the reason that 9 Pandas have been able to come into such a strong place once again in this game. Like, the arrogance of youth coming through, just 19 years of age, and he's not a depressed kid anymore. He is really putting on his big boy shoes.
What a stage to do it as well. Potentially sending... They're chasing on Whisper. There's a DD down bottom. Pandas will be the first to scout this out. We have really great carry. Really, Dino's not the worst, to be honest, with Trample, but would have loved if Ramses to be able to get it. We do have some Wisdom Runes, though. So it looks like Panda's going to be able to back on off. We're 30 minutes in, 5,000 net worth lead, a very, very even game.
For sure. 6k really doesn't mean all that much in the grand scheme of things, right? The right people are still getting a lot of the farm. We know what Earth Spirit is able to do just with that little bit of base. And he's realized the impact that this Elder Titan is having against him with those early points in the natural order. Results him in going into an early-ish plate mail. Probably going to turn it into an ATOS as well, to be honest. Sorry, not an ATOS, Lotus Orb, to be honest.
And tires. Okay, cheeky solo kill. He's so annoying with ceremonial robe, and he also, because why not, supports can buy core items. He's got a Silver's Edge queued up.
That's the joke, surely. Come on.
No, we didn't mess around, brother. Come on, Ramsey. They're starting to veer their attention down to bottom. Kiyotaka, seeing this mobility, he's going to be able to run into C-Smile just before the roll.
Under attack.
Is he actually doing it? He's already bought the Shadow Amulet.
break?
Surely not.
Looks Spire. A little bit awkward use of the Echo Slam, and what is the damage? Whisper. Oh, it just blows up the Ocean with one combo. That is a big start to the fight. Can Ramses turn the ties for 9 Pandas? They're taking a fight deep inside EG's territory. Miero and Ko are going to be able to turn it back around, though. They'll get a nice rebuttal, but it's not going to matter in the end as they isolate the Templar Assassin on the high ground. Now Miero will look for the TP. He makes it out, but Evil Geniuses strike back.
Somehow leaving behind the Dino Illusions even after the TP out, but you know what? That's fine. It's all well and good, but not for 9 Pandas. They just find that quick pick off. Look at all the damage being done out by Whisper. Like 6k alone in that fight. Probably 80% of that was done to Kiyotaka himself. Is he actually going Silver Edge on Antares?
Antares? They're going to get him? No TP. Shadow Amulet. They got gems. They got gems. Never mind. Antares. That's crazy.
I mean, Glimmerkirk doesn't stop you from getting Mystic Flared, but it was a really nice positioning quickly there by Whisper to make sure he soaked up half of it and then went forward and cleaned that one up.
There's a lot of objectives that's going to go EG's way. They'll get the tier 2 and probably Tormentor, so Matthew's the last one without the shard. But they are respawning, and starting to
Pretty
get
good
into
shot
position.
to get, to be honest.
Oh, it's a great shot to get. There you go.
No more silence. No more slow coming down from the TA trap. See the Ramses, he's got his own Aghanim shard as well, so that silence is going to be removed too.
Who do you feel like is currently in a better position? Net worth lead is nothing at this stage, so who do we feel like with the lineup is going to scale a little bit better as we go on?
I mean, I just feel like Miero has almost all that he needs to be able to truly be that big impactor on this game, right? And yeah, now the Silver Edges are starting to come out as well. You've got one on Ramses, you've got the Aghanim Scepter on Miero, you've got the Silver Edge on
Speaking of Miero. Okay, I thought they could have glimpsed him. They're going to go the long way around, though, here on EG.
Who has
Pandas,
vision,
do
though?
they
That's the real
read
question.
this? It's a good scan from Radiant. Leads red.
Miero is bait.
Don't want that target, though. 4,300 health. They'd love the backline. They'd love Ramses. The reaction with the blinks, able to dodge out to the right side. Miero's going to look to start. Give them some information to work with. C-Smile's going to be in the kickback. Ramses in the middle with the stuns out as well. Ramses in trouble. It's a big earth splitter, but it's not enough. Ramses goes down, and now where's the damage? Miero's doing a load in the middle of the fight. Kiyotaka is hunting the backline, but this is just space. Kiyotaka won't get anyone. Back over to the right side. Whisper, he'll chase down Miero. The response is there, and Tara's almost solo kills because, but the armlet toggles, he'll still go down. Miero comes, crashes in, but there is no way you respond to Whisper's bristleback. He will be untouched in this team fight. Although maybe they'll deal with C-Smile and able to break back out. Just kite Whisper, that's the name of the game. Deal with every other component and leave the bristle to last. Wait for the breaks, wait for the Echo Slam, and drop it straight on the head. But the Bloodstone heal, it won't be enough in the end as 9 Pandas. It was a horrific start. You lost Ramses, but everyone else pulled their weight.
Man, Ramses and not buying a BKB made a more iconic duo, but it's just that impact of all of these other heroes. See how much Miero does off the back of his blade mail, off the back of that uproar, releasing all of those different shards with the break, and of course the trample. And he got 3 tramples in the middle of that fight and 2 blade mails. That's how long that one lasted for. 2 pulverizers too.
Another potential solo kill. And Tara's, dude, what'd you say as soon as you saw this pick in the draft? Let's just go back for comfort. A Grandmaster Sky, who's 7-3-14.
Who is still building the Silver Edge, by the way.
Is under attack.
He was just staying in the Shadow Amulet for the longest time in the lane, just waiting for someone to show. And I mean, a fair few times I was like, oh, they've got a gem and they're going to be able to catch him out and just rip him apart. But it's one of those cases where luck starts to play a little bit of a factor, right? The Bristle didn't walk close to him. It was the CK that did first and foremost, and we saw how much damage he was able to do. Finally, they're going to be able to secure that Roshan for themselves. Any Aegis claimers? Looks like Kiyotaka's the one. He has been diving in pretty deep, so it makes a lot of sense. And now they don't have the gem, so this Silver Edges and this Shadow Blade on this Skywrath Mage are really going to start to pay dividends. Oh my god. Is this the first ever Skywrath Mage Silver Edge? If it ends up happening? That right-click damage, it's a factor. So what are they going to be able to do now off the back of this? Hit Tormentor just for the gold.
Such a wild game we've had, though, where off the back of the laning phase, a 7,000 net worth lead for Pandas. EG knocked that down to 2,000 off the back of some incredible fights. Then, for the next 10, 15 minutes, fights go back and forth, but now 9 Pandas been able to accumulate the biggest lead of this game, 11,000. And again, just to reiterate the stakes, EG with the loss here, they will be playing tiebreakers, a best of 3 against SMG.
Which is pretty significant and even more worrisome considering now you've got more scaling happening from the supports.
Oh, very cute from Panda. Not enough, though.
Should have
Got
got the
on
Cosmic
bottom.
Cape.
Miero, all right, potential another pick off. Matthew's in a good position. Use it aggressively though, but oh my god, the response is instant. Bakaz is in along with Wisp, now 9 Pandas are a little bit slow. Halbert's going to stop some of the damage out of the tempo assassin. It's a great stomp from Solo. What a perfect counter initiation. And now they're into the middle as well as Kiyotaka is going to join them down bottom. The buybacks can be there from EG, but it's not going to matter. Kiyotaka just ran past them. Kiyotaka assassinates the Earth Spirit. And he's got the ages they have to go through as well. You will need more buybacks. Bakaz will use it now. They should be able to deal with the first life out of the... Can they get more though? I mean, this Earthshake is a difficult man to go through. BKB still down for a couple of seconds. Oh, Enchant Totem.
You got the charge back in from Miero.
It didn't get away. It didn't get away. Or could you see the Enchant Totem went straight up in the air instead. And now Whisper, since it's a sign of weakness as 9 Pandas, all they can do is look to retreat as a team. Maybe with the break they can kill Whisper, but Ramses, he wants out. He wants nothing to do with his engagement. Blinks over to the right side. Miera's just stuck in between 4. Ramses is trying to find an opportunity to go back in, but it looks so difficult.
They found
Poking and prodding. They'll kick him back into the lion's stand. A great blink away, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be an escape. No way. Does he get out? No gem enjoyers. And Ramsey's out.
Back and forth. I mean, after all of this and after 3 heroes still dying, 2 of them being caused, you've still got this gigantic net worth lead from 9 Pandas. I know it's getting to the later stages where net worth doesn't start to matter as much, but it really is the supports just setting themselves apart, right? What you're able to do on solo here. There's still the gem actually on the ground next to Whisper right now.
And Ramses is still bottom. Far out, dude. What? This man is just... He smiled. What's going on?
The EU smiley face coming into the equation.
Let's go. Dude, 9 Pandas. It's like you got Antares being a pest across the map, solo killing people. You got Kiyotaka just munching on supports. And now Ramsey just blinking in front of like 3 heroes and getting away. What are they doing?
He's finally getting towards that BKB though. What is it now? The 12th item BKB coming through from Ramses. Hates buying it, but it is going to become an absolute necessity for him. It honestly has been for this past little bit because he is just getting fully chain stunned. I figure it might have gotten a little bit better once he's at level 25. That's why he was able to blink out of these past 2 kill attempts because of how many refraction instances that he has. But if the combination is still on point, he can die absolutely.
Antares. Is he Matthew?
The gem is still there on the ground, by the way, behind where the tier 2 tower bot was.
I mean, you'd love to use his arcane.
Yep.
He will not spy anyone by themselves though, so it does look like they're going to get the gem as well. Solo with the long trip around. I still see it on the ground.
Nah, he's got it. I do too. That's weird.
Hang on. But they're too... nah, this... I don't know what's going on. Let's see. It's still there? It's still there. So I have no idea. I don't know if it's
on the career
bug.
for sure.
Yeah, no, it's in his backpack now, but it's also still bottom. It might be a visual bug. I don't know. Anyway. Gonna smoke up Pandas.
They would love a pick off here. This is
I mean, one more fight just closes out the game. And they might be able to get it on Matthew as well. Miero, a deep charge in the base, which can start to get messy. You don't have the full fight to be able to dance in and out. Miero's still going to be able to turn with the pulverize, but some early usages out of the BKB and EG. This could be their opportunity. They'll need a long smoke wraparound.
There's no Phantasm Illusions, though, to be able to play around with. You didn't pop a ton on EG. But the thing is, 9 Pandas, they pop BKBs, and that's going to be a pretty significant factor, right? No BKB on the Primal, no BKB on the Earthshaker. You're very vulnerable to this Magnetize if C-Smile is able to get on point with landing it. He's up to level 20 now, so he is dealing a significant amount of damage.
It's just... Fights have looked so difficult for them to win when it's been... You know, the previous one when you had buybacks, and now it's a true 5-on-5. And in fact, I mean, Dai can even buy back as well, knowing that Radiant will not be able to rejoin.
They know Antares is down here. Probably just going to check with a ward, and they're going to see it placed up as... Yeah, there we go, Panda looking to remove it. Could have potentially gone for that kill attempt there. I mean, this Skywrath Mage is just down here below the tier 3 tower, completely on his own, waiting for someone to potentially show. And well, there you go. There's the impact of the Shadow Blade, allows him to get away. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's going to go into the Silver Edge, prioritizing the Scythe of Ice instead.
Very understandable, but also boring itemization. And
your pubs are safe, bro.
I don't know who builds a boot to travel Aethos Silver's Edge Blink. That's one of the difficult ones to be able to guess if you don't see who the hero is.
Yeah, guess the hero, yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. So to have this game stalling out a little bit, which is, I mean, sure, 9 Pandas is going to be able to continue to accumulate a hell of a net worth lead off the back of this, get more map control and be able to get this last outer tower. But it is making these buybacks come off cooldown very slowly, which is what EG are hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, they still feel pretty confident in their team fight potential, right? It really just does come down to who do you get the initiation onto, because overall, you would have to say they are lacking in stuns. The big thing is you want to make sure that it feels like EG have been getting kited a little bit in recent times, but if you're able to kite out, force out the BKBs and then kite 9 Pandas, things change dramatically. You know, you can look to find that secondary initiation and come in with the second use of the Bristleback active and then just clean up the team. I really just don't feel like you're able to kill Ramses with the primary source of initiation.
Got a DD now as well here, so Miara's just going to pick it up with almost refresher completed.
Pretty long Roche respawn.
Yep.
Ramses looks like he's going to bank on it being top, might just drop down a trap inside the pit.
So how do we look for the fights to start for EG? Like who's that person then you're looking to kill?
I mean, to me, it's got to be one of the supports, right? Like, you need to force out a rotation from someone else who would love to take the gem away from solo as well, just to be able to, you know, claim a little bit of that net worth back, claim a little bit of that map control back, because I really don't feel like anyone else dies, right? They were caught inside the base for the longest time on Kiyotaka and Miero, and they've both got about 5k HP.
Kiyotaka is hunting.
This was
currently underneath the trap. Kiyotaka was show for a second, but Kaz is ready to follow up.
That's a BKB
to stop the drag back near Miero is going to push them forward as well.
That's kind of significant. They didn't pop too much. Just a Lotus Orb and a Demonic Cleanse.
Need to really start to recontrol this entry. This is the big issue with not having this gem at the moment on EG, that the traps giving them so much information and vital kind of pathways towards each lane.
But maybe now Kiyotaka is killable, right? No BKB, they don't have any sort of Lotus, so even with that 4.8k HP, you're vulnerable to the Spirit Vessel. You're vulnerable to a lot of the damage coming through. You still need to be on point, of course, with your stun coordination, but it just becomes a whole lot easier. That's why he backs off completely.
There is that gem as well, so... Wait, I swear they bought a gem. Who's holding it currently?
Might be on the...
Okay. Yeah, it was. C-Smile just got it delivered, so... A couple of wards, they should be able to get rid of some really big traps that are continuing to scout EG out. So we do have Roche up in 20 seconds. Of course, the buybacks are about to be off cooldown. Because has got enough gold. There's nowhere near enough gold, of course, with Whisper buying out for the overwhelming blink, and C-Smile has almost got enough for himself as well. So this is at least something that will be back in the arsenal for Evil Geniuses.
For sure, for sure. I mean, Miaris, he's even got the refreshers, so no buyback for him, but it's just so much potential in these fights. It's very, very livable with the Ascetics cap as well. So we were talking about, you know, that perfection in terms of the stun combination. He's not getting stunned 100-0. He's going to get the BKB off at some stage in these team fights.
That could just be devastating though, with double BKB, double pulverize. Like who we spoke about EG and like who they're trying to blow up, and we've seen 9 Pandas have tried to deal with the supports as well. What about Miero though? Like with this pulverize, it's a long duration stun lock. Who is he wanting to pretty much take out of the equation?
I mean, you'd love the Shadow Demon to be the one, but you don't want it to be the Shadow Demon prior to the Aeon disc being popped, right? That's the big difference maker. You would love to be able to use the Pulverize a little bit later on into the team fight, potentially. I know he's got the... actually, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger, so probably won't be able to make that instant jump to the back lines. So it's all about just using the Uproar, soaking up a little bit of that damage early on, maybe forcing out some cooldowns from EG, breaking the Bristleback, getting rid of the Phantasm illusions, and then using the Pulverize after that, refreshing it, doing it all again.
All right. Well, we do have, of course, off the back of third Roche, we've got a refresher shard given over to Solo. along with the cheese and Aegis on Ramses. Big reason why they didn't give the refresher to anyone else is because Kiyotaka's playing with his own refresher orb. No reason for that. Here comes the high ground siege, the potential last fight of this game.
Trying to slow things down a little bit. Matthew pushing himself a little bit forward. Of course, again, it's just an easy way to be able to get away on that TA with a refraction, able to move on back.
What to do with that trap?
Mira's only 150 gold short of being able to buy the Ag's Blessing. He's got the Blade Melt backpacked right now. It's not the greatest uproar usage, but it's just got such a low cooldown that it doesn't really matter.
Kiyotaka's ready. All right, well, the mind jumps in, gets a tower, jumps out.
My money. Look at Pakaz. He's gone for the full wraparound. This observer ward has somehow managed to stay alive, and Antares is actually got to move on back. It's not under. Yeah. Oh, he shows in the mid lane though. Don't think that'll be enough for them to move on forward. They're still worried about the Aegis, and if they can just hole up on their high ground, that's going to be the dream for EG.
It's a pretty nice neutral item. Telescope on Panda, especially for the two supports to help just your position accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Anything. Just for the geomagnetic grip on allies as well. You got the Aghanim Shard on Seasmar. Finally, they get rid of that serve ward, so it's looking bleak. Not too much vision that they've got outside of the base right now for EG.
And Antares isn't there currently, so they're going to take a fight. It'll be 4-on-5 and make it 4-on-3 now as well. Soulbite gets a great connection onto two cores. Meanwhile, they've isolated Miero as well. This is a great start to the fight from Evil Geniuses. They need to get more off the back of this, though. Ramsey's first slice is taken away.
He'll have the BKB.
How do they set themselves up for the second round? They're instant use of the BKB. They'll kite Ramses, wait for this to expire. Meanwhile, Miero Kiyotaka not going to be able to bring down the Grimstroke. They will do so after the banishment. He's got a buyback and will look to reuse it. Can they get more, though, EG? It was looking great to start, but with the opportunity there, they'll only get a couple of kills. Whisper's a little bit isolated from the boys. Break is out, needs some protection. Picard's going to be able to deal with the main damage from the backline now. Ramses in some danger. Pike down to the low ground. Echo Slam's not enough. EG, can they catch up to him though? The retreat from Pandas enabled thanks to Miero. He'll give them enough time. He might get a kill instead. Miero, are you serious? 5,400 health. He's not even close to dying. Gets all the boys out. Kiyotaka wants to go back in as well. Oh my god, this primal beast hero.
He is a beast. This is the reason we were wanting to raise the Dino Nets coming through it for good purposes. Miero just standing on the front lines, being that absolute nuisance for the entire EG roster.
Whisper? Okay, pretty quick blink away and some reaction. I don't know, man. That looked like probably one of the better fights you're going to get from EG, down 38,000 gold. And if you can't win that, how are you going to win any others?
Whisper's played his Ag's Labyrinth. He dodged every single one of those Ag Shut Uproar releases, but still not going to protect the barracks. Really not wanting to use the buybacks, but they're going to be forced.
You're going to have to. That's going to be a dieback out of the Grimstroke. Quick reaction, but the fissure onto two. Matthew's protected with the on disc and instant Picard's buys back when he sees an opportunity to deal with Antares. But again, Miero, you're not killing him. He's just running straight to them. Meanwhile, nothing. I mean, Kiyotaka is just blowing up a backline member. Is going to go down to the Quills. Buybacks once again. That's the main source from EG to potentially turn the tides here in this fight. Is it going to be enough, though? It's because assassinates another member out of Pandas. Double buyback for them. Ramsey's in some danger. Pike will get some separation. They're going to be able to turn him back to face the Chaos Knight. Ramsey's still with the net worth lead. Should easily be able to win this, especially with the members playing behind him. Because tries to arm the toggle, but it's just not enough. Miero still stands strong, pretty much unscathed through this team fight. He's got Kiyotaka still ready to go with a refresher as well, but Whisper will try and do whatever he can. One more fight, one last hope, but he will almost be killed off. He's able to step over to the left side, dancing in and out. A great blink to reposition. Meanwhile, Seasmar, they'll just turn their attention over towards the Earth Spirit. Matthew, I mean, he's being so annoying with the banishments. And it will get the Earth Spirit back inside the base, but it is 5 versus 2. It is too much for them to handle. 9 Pandas far out.
Look at
This was
Viero.
a difficult game.
No one can kill
They
him.
had to work for it.
Even the fountain.
And that is hell of a way to be able to celebrate this victory for the boys on Dire.
Oh, the GG being dropped as well. I wonder if that's an SA smiley face coming through in response to Ramsey's coming in. But it's going to be a 1-1 series at the end of the day. And that means that we are going to get those tiebreakers in group number A as well.
Yeah, far out.